Okay, so something I've been kind of talking about recently in my own, well, thinking about my own and stuff as well as collaborating with others on um, exposing certain things and whatnot. This is going to be on the subject matter of elites type of systems and their rise and fall and whatnot. Um, and the idea of humanity or people always wanting to create some sort of system to move away from another type of system, which is very interesting because it's all dependent on what type of values that other system has. Um, like what attributes is it here for? Currently, as mentioned within my feeds and here and there, is Hyperionism, and how does it fit into a new system? Now, much of the ideas of Hyperionism, and this is another video of I've done those already about Hyperionism and the pros and cons and all that. This is just a simple thing. To look at all these different types of systems that were attempted or are being attempted is to basically the underlying basis is to overthrow the already elite system, if you will, and to install basically a new type of elite system. So, how is that any different? I mean, and it's not to say that the certain ideas and certain aspects and certain principles are not do not have a valid foundation or a valid basis. It's just you know why basically, and at what cost is it going to bring harm to anyone? Now, yes, the religions of the world need to be done away with. They are long overdue. Religion is, I mean, most people, I would say about maybe 75% of the world is aware of the religious bullshit propaganda. And the other whatever percent, I don't know if that's an accurate number, but just a guesstimate type of thing. But I guess the rest of the world is seeing it come to light, if you will, as these exposures and whatnot happen. Not getting into that whole topic or whatever, but things of that nature. And within the fall of every system, as a new system, religion needs to fall. Everyone, and it's not going to be chaos and all this other thing, like. And so funny, like I see people claim the separation of church and state, right? Um, and I don't pay that much attention to politics and all that stuff, but I've seen a few broadcasts here and there, and they mention "thank God" or "bless God" or they don't actually. I mean, they're not going to say a prayer and all that stuff, but um, I'm noticing it a lot in pop culture and stuff too. And it's like, where is the basis of the ideas to promote some, you know, the belief in that there's something outside of yourself? Um, Now, getting into what exactly, source, God, universe, whatever, whatever you want to call it, the the overlying point you want to realize is that anything outside of yourself is also within. The as above, so below, as within, so without. Um, realize that you have whatever archetypal being you is projected. This is how the myths were created with the Greeks and the Romans and Egyptians and many civilizations throughout history, how they began and how they created the archetypes, because they didn't understand that these things, that their inner demons or angels or whatever you wanted to call them, they were projective outside of themselves. When in fact, those same projections are inside, more so. And this still happens today. We one of the most interesting things in people that celebrate a holiday, or celebrate Christmas or whatever, is we tell children, and not just the holiday, but we tell children that things that Santa and the Tooth Fairy and things like that, leprechauns and whatever, are real, right? Mythical beings. We tell this to children. And then at a certain age, it's decided that it's time to tell a child that this thing is not to be considered as truth anymore. That this is, you were a kid and type of thing, and that's all this was meant to be. And now it's time to move on, or whatever, or forget about it, type of whatever. So, but yet, it's so ironic that we are told to forget about Santa Claus and Easter Bunny and all these other make-believe things, but yet still believe that there's some being in the sky that is going to judge us and send us to either heaven or hell. So you're giving up one myth, but yet you're still told to believe in this, because that makes sense. I mean, that's the thing. You don't have these. It's not saying that these projections, I mean, they're not real. That's the whole. They're not real in the sense that they're you, your projections of you. Most of the times, people have, in cases of possession, demonic possession, they are exercising that part of themselves. The vastness of what you are, you currently, everyone here now, we are not aliens, we are not this, we are, our minds may be many things, but the physical vessel you inhabit is a human body, okay? So the mind can exist at many points, multi-dimensions, many whatever. The mind is always going to be faster than the body. Anybody. So it is the mind that is the next phase of evolution. The body is pretty much at the way we are structured, the placement of our hands and legs and feet and head and all that stuff is how we are going to stay, because it's the best adapted structure for this planet. Whereas the mind is, of course, the mind doesn't care. The mind's like, all right, I got this body now, so I'm gonna, make use of it. And the mind is the thing that continues to always evolve. We can even evolve the body. The body can be evolved as well, because the both two are connected. Existence is a mix of physical and mental, thought and reality, which thought is the projection of reality. So essentially, you're in a live dream. You're in a waking dream. So what is this waking dream? However you choose to navigate your world. And likewise, everyone else in the world, everyone else you interact with, everything else you interact with is all its own code. Everything has its code. Everything has its own frequency, emits its own tune, vibration. I'm getting a little off track to the main, but that's the overall point, is that when it boils down to it, everything is the same. So when you have systems try to claim that they are the right ones, or that they present this new type of information, yes, Hyperionism and Illuminism does present, and Illuminism and Gnosticism and occultism are all pretty much the same thing with just different ways of saying it, even, scriptures or whatever. What needs to be broken down and understood, this is basically humanity's way of playing telephone. You get bits and pieces of the energy presented as a frequency, okay? And so as this frequency is presented to, say, the beginning of time, it probably first started, say, the beginning of human time, or cave people, or whatever our prehistoric selves, we had this knowledge, and it brought it with us. Now, if you don't know, most people can see this, the common sense aspect of this is why the church stepped in and gained control. See, the church seeks to rule part of the three ruling factors are church, or religion, politics, and Hollywood, I believe. I think that's it. But the three ruling factors of the world are media, politics, or whatever. But all that, anyway, shows how much I pay attention to it. But all these ideas of a system, of a one that wants to change the world, I would say is not impossible, but is going to take the agreed upon efforts of many to do so. There already exist places within the world that are totally cut off from modern technology as it is. So there already are places that are existing as a free society. So it is possible. It does work. But the thing is, it works within their own area. Like if we want to bring our stuff into that, it would cause total chaos, because we have our ways and they have their ways, and when you have two cultures that clash, well, then you have issues until you slowly integrate it, and then you have wonderful things. But we've seen this, many times in the past with wars and with crusades and mass genocides or whatever. It's always been someone trying to rule, someone trying to say that their way is right. That would be the first sign in trying to recognize something. When you try to emphasize that a point is above another, certain points, yes, I can see why they are. As I said, religion needs to be gone. No question about that. It needs to be done away with. Religion needs to cease to exist, because any system, for that matter, that tells you what to think, that tells you to bow down to it, that invokes fear if you do not do so, needs to be destroyed. That is not beneficial at all to the evolution of humanity. But it also has to be understood that everyone has their own awakening process and environmental factors, status, whatever, however they see themselves and all that stuff, and what they want to face. You can tell someone the truth. Remember, you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You can tell someone the truth, but they must want to see it for themselves. They must want to follow it and dive into it, Matrix is real, indeed. I mean, that's the thing, there's evidence everywhere. Well, speaking of evidence, and something that just kind of came to me is one of my videos I mentioned the conspiracy. I forget which Hyperionism video I talked about, but something about conspiracies, and then what? Now here's the thing. There are certain conspiracies or certain ideas that are true. they have evidence to support such. In regards to 9/11, using logic and reason, you can look at all of the evidence of that says that it was a controlled job. Okay? It is not like to label it a conspiracy theory. No, there's evidence. We have evidence now of, I mean, what happened, what really happened. Now, with certain things, yes, I can understand, the ideas of, like, yeah, certain things are just wacky nutball theories or whatever, but certain things that are proven. And with this particular subject, you'd have, I mean, you can see it in films, the numbers and dates in movies was 9/11, or, it appeared somewhere in films or anything like that. So how do you explain that? How is that just another coincidence, or, like, how do you explain that it appeared so many times and everything? Not everything's coincidence. Not everything's false. So, in order to truly evolve from our world to bring about even more change, is to evolve the mind more. Because once, as the mind evolves, or is allowed to evolve in some, and is allowed to evolve more in others, then truly you will see a more of a shift in humanity. Everything that we already have, everything that already exists has been made possible by first being a thought. Everything had to have been a thought, imagination, and put into physical existence for it to be so. Look around wherever you are listening to this. Look around you. What do you see? Perhaps you're outside. It could be a street light, park bench, stop sign. Maybe you're inside. Maybe you got some chairs, table, drawers, common stuff. All of these things were once thoughts, were once ideas in someone's mind, and they went ahead and made it a physical reality. So, by that logical explanation, reality is in fact a collection of thoughts. Thoughts have shaped reality since, quote unquote, the start and end of time. But yeah, I wanted to get this out there and some of this stuff out there because, it's important that this information be heard. If you're going to identify with any label, it's up to you. Maybe we want labels for some things but not labels for others, which is fine too. But if you're going to do that, be sure that what you're labeling yourself with speaks truth for you. And it may only do so for a little bit. It may not last. Maybe part of you have to experience it for a little bit on your path type of thing to know where it is you are and where you're going. Every experience is a projection of something that we need to see, we want to, in order to grow, in order to learn something. Nothing happens without purpose. Nothing happens without reason. But certain things I'm not gonna get too much into, certain like that, or the see within a lot of within these systems and everything are making it seem that you need to know certain things in order to progress. For example, the whole thing with mathematics is you can know mathematics and you can study, you can choose to, is I'm doing some as my own thing little by little, but it's not actually needed. It's not like it's not like required, if you will, to understand the nature of reality, the nature of existence. I mean, yes, it's. I'm not denying that mathematics it can explain it, but there are also other ways to understand it. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be able to decipher a physics type of problem, on a chalkboard in order to understand existence. So it more so is how to, and I'm probably in people, whatever can say whatever the hell they want. I don't care because I know my truth and I know my what has worked for me, and I understand the reality. I understand everything. I don't. I suck at math at the moment. Math has always been one of my more difficult subjects, and who fucking cares? Shit happens. So I'm finally to the point now where I want to learn it on my own. It's going slowly, and I'm doing it on my own. But guess what? I ain't got to answer to no one but my damn self. So that's that. But you can understand existence without understanding the very core of mathematics. It seems to be kind of a trend now, I mean, yes, it's known as the basis of in every teaching, occultism, Gnosticism, Illuminism, mathematics is there, alchemy. I mean, you have it in many areas, so it's not saying that it's not true and it's not real and it's not it's more so saying that spend the time to understand it. If you don't it's basically saying that like if you don't understand it, don't worry, you will still understand the nature of reality without understanding it, but understand the nature of reality at first and then work on your mathematics if you want to understand it even better, I guess, if that makes sense. But yeah, you don't need I mean, is there when you leave this world, whatever time, however it may be, is there going to be someone or something outside that's going to be, grading you on some physics test or some whatever, you know what I mean? I don't know. So it's up to you. It's up to, as I said, I would say learn everything. Learn what you can. Do what makes you happy. Don't do it because someone else is doing it and you look cool or whatever. Doing it because you want to. And follow no system but your own. You're the only one that knows your world and creates your world and is responsible for you and you alone. Alright? So, I'm going to end this now and catch you guys soon. And you like this, give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button and drop a comment below. Hit me up on my social medias. Alright, talk to you later. Peace out. Echo your sound. If you would like to book a personal session with me, you can do so by reaching me at any of the following links. Until then, take care of yourselves. Echo your sounds.